Hello, I'm Ray Festa.
And I'm Andy Tupper.
Today we're going to be doing a video for you about the irrigation timers that we use here in the Garden of Seven Sisters. I'm giving you some tips on programming and hopefully make this a little bit easier as you're managing your water in your irrigation plots. The first controller we're going to talk about today is this style of orbit controller. We're not going to spend a great deal of detail on this because this is an older style controller and we're actually going to be phasing these out soon. One of the nice things about this controller and this style of controller and that appeal to us is that you can unhook this and program it in your hand while this valve is still connected to your irrigation system. So right now I'm just going to show you how to turn this particular timer off and on. So there's just a auto run button. So if you're programming it or it's in the run position, you want it in the auto run, which is the mode it's in right now. If you want to turn it off during a rainy season or for maintenance, or let's say your plot is laying fallow, you would just hit the off button and it turns the system off. In a previous video, we had stressed the importance of periodically running a manual start on your system and taking a walk around your plot to look for any irrigation problems. So we're going to show you how to do that, how to run a manual start on this particular timer. Okay, to run a manual start on this type of a timer, again, you have to have it in the auto run position, which it is right now. You would push the manual button and you get a flashing cursor, and then you would push the plus button to enter the amount of minutes that you want it to run manually. So we have it flashing now at 5, so that would be 5 minutes. And then you simply press enter and you can hear the valve click, and it just opened that valve, and it will now time out 5 minutes, and it'll show you 4 minutes, and it'll show you 3 minutes, and it'll eventually just turn itself off.
Okay, this is the newer timers we have in the garden, and we'll be slowly replacing the ones that Ray just showed you with these. Okay, this is the timer in the off position, and we want to turn the on position here, which it says auto, and that means it's on. Now, if you're not used to using this timer, you can set it up here. This sets the clock. You simply use the plus or minus key to set the time, and it should be at the right time right now. And then you want to go another one to start time. So again, you push a plus or minus to get to the time that you want, and you want to make sure it's on AM or PM. And then for how long, you can go plus or minus, and that sets how long it's going to run. And then how often is a little not quite as programmable as the other one that we just showed you. This one here, you have the number of days, every 3 days, every 4 days, etc. Or you can actually go down to 6 hours, 12 hours, or 1 day. And then the next thing is you're off, and then you want to leave it on run. Okay, I'm going to show you how to use the manuals button here so that you can check your irrigation. You push the manual button, it automatically comes out to 10 minutes. We can use the plus and minus keys to increase or decrease, and then we wait a couple of seconds, and you're going to hear a click. And now it's on for the 2 minutes that we just set it for. If you find a leak in your garden and you don't want to wait for the manual timer to turn off, you simply turn it off, and you'll hear a click in a few seconds. If you come out in the garden and you see the screen on the controller is blank, the problem is probably the batteries are dead. Normally the timers, I have all the batteries changed in the spring, but occasionally we get a bad battery or something like that, and they go bad. So normally you don't have to worry about the batteries, but once in a while you may have to change them. If the screen is blank, you want to turn it over, check these two tabs here, push them together and pull out the batteries, and there they are. You can replace the batteries. We have batteries in the shed. Then replace them and put the thing back in, clip it in, and you're ready to go.
If for any reason you need to remove the timer from the hose spigot, you have to remember to turn this ball valve off a quarter turn, which will shut the valve off, relieve the pressure, and then you can undo the nut and remove the timer. All the timers in the garden will have some type of a wooden box protection over them to protect them from rainfall, sunlight, and also give some protection for frost. Here in San Luis Obispo, our climate is mild enough that these wooden boxes give them adequate protection. But if you were in North County where you get down into some severely freezing temperatures, it might be wise to disconnect your timer and take them in for the winter.
Okay, thanks for watching, and hopefully this will be helpful to you in managing the irrigation in your plot.